The Green Prince, Mosab Hassan Yousef, my friend, knows all sides of this so well. His father is a founding member of Hamas, okay? Mosab worked for his father. They then are in prison. He sees the reality of what Hamas is becoming. He's against it. He can't change it. He decides to be part of the effort to stop Hamas and save people from terrorism, and now he joins us. My brother, I am thankful for you as Thanksgiving is upon us. I am thankful for you being in my life and my friend.
Thank you, Chris. Happy Thanksgiving.
So, on a political level, why, if people wave this away and say, well, who cares what the ICC says? They don't have any real enforcement power, and we know how certain people feel about what's happening in Israel. It doesn't really matter in terms of what happens in the war. What is your take?
Well, this is very significant. It shows you the level of corruption and the absurdity, actually, of the situation, because they did not issue only arrest warrant against Bibi Netanyahu. They also issued a warrant for Muhammad al-Daif. This is a corpse, a dead man, confirmed dead a few months ago. And they forgot about the Hamas leaders. This is their responsibility, number one, to condemn Hamas. Since the beginning of the war, they failed to condemn Hamas under the Chinese and Russian pressure, giving Hamas a lifeline. Hamas leaders are in Turkey right now. It's their responsibility to bring these criminals, war criminals, to justice. And they are not doing that. Instead, they have been pressuring Israel because they want Israel to surrender. This is their goal. And they want to give Hamas a lifeline, terrorist group who committed the worst genocide of our time. Israel is not committing a genocide in Gaza. It's not ethnically cleansing what so-called Palestinians. The crime and the blood in Gaza is on Hamas' hands, and I find it hard to believe why people cannot see it for what it is.
Because there's so much death of women and children that are on their phones.
How do we know, Chris? All the statistics of the death, the numbers, I hear the number 40,000, and even some people say 100,000. Where did this number come from? The ICC are not on the ground. They don't have their people there to count the dead people. This is Hamas statistics. And we are talking about the most populated area in the Middle East, where terrorists have been embedded everywhere, dug tunnels, used hospitals, schools. Any modern army, there is no way for the IDF or any other modern army to avoid civilian casualty. And I think the IDF did everything within their ability to minimize the civilian casualty, while Hamas did everything within their ability to maximize the civilian casualty. Then they exaggerated the numbers, they lied to the international community, and they played on the emotional nerve of the West.
On that level, I do believe, and you've heard me say this before, and I maintain it, I think Israel's stance on aid, I understand Hamas takes the aid. I get that you have to be careful about what you let in because what else is coming in. I get all of that. But the lack of aid and the lack of increase in aid, even though there has been an increase in the complaints about it, I think feeds the perception that Israel is trying to be as harsh as possible. Do you think they should change their posture towards aid and be like, as you reference, America was? We were killing everybody in Iraq also, but then there'd be convoys of aid right behind it. I know that that's an odd paradox, but that's how we did it. They are not.
Listen, this is another lie. I just came back from Gaza. I saw with my own eyes 800 trucks waiting after Israel searched the trucks. And the problem is logistical on Hamas' part because they steal the aid. Then they sell it to the Gazans. Also, there is another important thing that the humanitarian organizations are not paying attention to, that Hamas smuggle weaponry using the aid trucks. And I saw what Hamas had been smuggling up to that point, all type of weaponry and explosives. So Israel must finish this war as fast as possible.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.